This tutorial will cover how to design the model for Model 851 and also how to make the 2D drawings. First thing we want to look at is which sketch to start with. We can either start with this top view or with the side view. Trying to start with this side view and making the extrusion go this way would be really difficult to make all those shapes. Starting with the top view and extruding upward is going to be a better bet. Want to make sure that your z-axis is pointing upwards. If it's not, you can come up here, click on Preferences, and in your preferences, we're looking for default modeling orientation. Want to make sure that instead of Y up, that you have Z up selected. Go ahead and hit Apply if it's not already that way. And you may need to close out of this untitled model when it opens up a new untitled. Really good. Want to make sure that we are saving this, so we'll go ahead. Going to add in comments as I go. This is my start, so I can save this once to begin with. I'm going to create a sketch on this top plane. It's nice and easy to sketch circles from the origin, so we'll go ahead and do that. I can see that I'm in inches and I need to be in millimeters. So let me go ahead, I'll just type in 15 mm and hit enter, and I'll put that at 15 millimeters. It converts it to inches. So I'll come up here, slide over to where it says change active units, and I'll change my active units to millimeters. This design is done in millimeters. So I can see from the 2D drawing that the diameter of that center hole is 15 millimeters. That's what the circle with the line through it means. The bigger circle is 30. Well, so I'll come in here and I'll do another circle that's 30. Let me kind of have this rectangular shape. I'm going to go ahead, we'll use the 3-point rectangle, and we'll grab, you can kind of see when I come across the top of that circle, it kind of snaps to the vertical green line, and I just come straight down and it snaps to the bottom of the circle while still remaining vertical. And then with the 3-point rectangle, I can put in the length as 60 millimeters. I also need to add in this line, so we'll just go to the line command, make sure it snaps to that top line, come straight vertically downward, and then I can use the dimension tool to say that from this line to this line, that dimension should be 18 millimeters. And then I kind of need, I'll go ahead and I'll remove those corners. We can see that the 30 is written this way, the 7 is written this way, so this looks like it could be a 9 or a 6. But since the 7 is written that way, we know that that's a 9 and that's a 9. So this should be good for my first sketch. We'll go ahead and finish that and come back here. We'll go ahead and save it again. I'll say base sketch. We're going to go ahead and extrude. We're going to extrude the biggest parts first, which is the circle and kind of that flat area. The drawing says that that needs to be 29 millimeters tall. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and save it again. And we'll just say first extrude. Whenever you extrude, it closes out the sketch. We can come over here to the arrow and to the eyeball, turn our sketch back on, and now we can do our second extrude. And this one we can see is just 9 millimeters tall. And we want to make sure we have the join command right here. And now I can go ahead and turn off the sketch command. So I've got most of the base. I kind of need to trim these corners. We can use the chamfer command. There's several different types of chamfer. You can do equal distances. You can specify 2 separate distances. You can do a distance and an angle. These distances are measured horizontally and vertically, and that's what we need. So I'm going to select this vertical line and that vertical line, and I'll type in 9 millimeters. So now I've got my chamfer. So we'll go ahead, save that, and that's going to be second extrude chamfer. Okay, so to get this little kind of ramp thing here, some students will try to sketch on this and extrude upwards, but that's incredibly difficult. What we need to do is you just need to sketch on a plane that's kind of going sideways like that, kind of sketch that triangle in. So to do that, we're going to start the sketch command. You can kind of see our 3 original origin planes. And if we kind of look at it from the side, we can see that plane is right in the middle, right where we would like it. I can't get to that plane. I've got this face is in the way, so I'm going to left click and hold. It's going to bring up a menu of that face that's on top. It's also going to bring up the XZ plane when I want. It's also going to bring up the YZ plane, which was also underneath my mouse. But I'm going to select the XZ plane. And if I just go ahead and come in here and draw this line, it'll kind of snap to the geometry. It kind of sees that it's there. When I put my line in there, it doesn't turn blue. It doesn't make a closed shape because there's no line where I need it the rest of the way. So I will we'll go ahead and save this, and we'll finish the sketch. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do projector include, and I want to include the intersection. So the geometry, I want this body wherever it intersected that sketch plane that I was on. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And you can see now those purple lines, if we passed a plane right through the middle of this thing, that's where the plane intersects. And now that these purple lines are part of my sketch, you can see that this is an enclosed profile, and that's blue. And that's what we need to be able to do an extrusion. So we'll go ahead and finish that. Go ahead and save again. Call that sketch 2. And all of these are being saved over in my modeling tree. You can see that I'm already up to version 5 right here. And it says item created, base sketch, extrude, second extrude, and chamfer, sketch 2. So these are kind of just little notes of how I'm working along in my design process. I can extrude this, select that plane, and we're going to do a symmetric extrude. And I can see that this little ramp is 7 millimeters thick, and I got 2 options. I can do the half length. Half of 7 is 3.5, or I can just do the whole length and just type in the number 7. So that's 7 millimeters wide. We'll hit OK. So that is the model. I'll go ahead and save this again. This is my 3rd extrude. Go ahead and say OK. I'm going to hit the letter A key to bring up the appearance menu. And I've got options. I can do bodies and components or faces. We'll just leave this as bodies and components. We'll pick some glossy blue paint. I'm just going to drag this and touch it to my model. And now my model is blue. And that looks, it's not the same shade of blue, but close enough. And I'll just tell this is when I turned it blue. Okay, so I got up to 7 saves, so I'm at my minimum of 6, nice and evenly spaced throughout the design. The next thing I need to do is create the drawing from this design. We're going to leave all these set as ISO and millimeters. It's going to leave my model tab. It'll leave this open, but it's going to open up another tab, and that's the symbol for the 2D drawing. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is put down a base view. It kind of gives you that option of the front view. And we want to do visible and hidden edges. So we'll kind of just stick this down here, kind of in the same location as the other one. Usually it's nice to do projected views. If it wants me to select the parent view, so I can click on this. When I slide it upwards though, to the position I want the other one, it's showing me the bottom face, and I want the top face. So I'm going to hit escape, and instead of doing the projected view, I'll just put another base view, and I'll select the top view, this top view. And the projected views are nice because it'll keep everything lined up. I kind of just have to put this in kind of the right spot and set it down and say okay. And then I also need the isometric. So I'll put in a third base view. I'm going to select one of the isometric directions and we'll put it right there. And you can see, whoops, so this is hidden lines. So I'm going to double click that and turn that back to shaded. So you can see that my slope kind of goes down to, or my whole part kind of goes down to the right, and in the PDF it goes down to the left, but that is a-okay. It still, things are kind of set up in general locations. Last part you have to do is click on the dimensions and just start putting in the dimensions. Let me zoom in. I'm going to get this part of the hole to that part of the hole is 15 millimeters. The height from here to there is 29. And you can just dimension the rest of this is 9 millimeters, the same as the drawing. And then make sure that you save it. So this says start drawing. So we'll call this Model 851. We're doing this for the video, but this is a drawing. And we'll hit save. Okay. And I just realized I called my model Start V7. I actually really changed that to Model 851. So once I've got my model finished, I still have to add dimensions over here. I think for the assignment, you need to come over here, save this as a PDF. You can just hit OK, and it'll bring up your normal save file. So you just need to save this somewhere where you can find it again, and then you can upload it to your page. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.